folks, welcome back to another tutorial, and this time I'm going to show you how to set up a brand new Nintendo Switch all by yourself. So if you have bought a new Nintendo Switch and don't know how to set this up, this will be your guide, and I'm gonna give this in a 4-part tutorial. So let's jump right in. First of all, let's start with the part 1, which will be our Nintendo Switch's body. So the Nintendo Switch's body is like this, and once you open it for the first time, you'll get this display without them being connected to the Joy-Cons over there. So the display is an LCD panel or an OLED panel depending on the model you're holding. The model I'm holding is an LCD panel, but you can also have an OLED model depending on the version you buy. And if we go behind our Nintendo Switch, we will see a few options. The bottom part, you'll see the stand. If you just open this up, you'll be able to use a Nintendo Switch as a stand, and you can play games while it's being a standstill mode. And right below your stand, you will find the SD card slot. This is where you insert your SD card, and they are pretty useful since your Switch does not have enough storage available. And right below it, you'll find the charging slot. This is where you charge a Nintendo Switch, and you get the instructions by the manual, so I don't get to that. And if you go up your Nintendo Switch, you'll find a few important options. First is the power button. This is the button you use to power on or power off your Nintendo Switch. And then the volume button that you use to increase or decrease the volume manually. And this is the thing that keeps the Nintendo Switch cool, so let's not get into that. The radiator basically. And you also have a headphone jack where you can insert your headphones, and this is the main part, the slot where you insert your games. If you open this place up, you'll be able to insert your games. Just buy your games and you can insert them here. And I'll be covering this specific topic on another video, so you can just watch that to know how you can insert the game cards on your Nintendo Switch. But for now, let's move on to the part 2, which will be connecting our Joy-Cons. So you will get these 2 Joy-Cons with the Nintendo Switch by default, and you'll be able to use them on your Nintendo Switch like this. For example, the Switches have these icons at the top, the plus icon and the minus icon over here. These icons basically mean the plus icon is on the right side and the minus icon is usually on the left side. So they align like this. So for example, if you want to connect your Nintendo Switch with the Joy-Cons, you'll find that there is a sliding slot over here. You have to align these slots with this and slide them down. So make sure to align these parts with this and gently slide this down, and you'll hear a locking sound. And with that lock, your Switch Joy-Cons will be connected. Now get the the right Joy-Con as well and connect them as well. And that's it. Your Joy-Cons have been connected. Now, if you want to remove your Joy-Cons, all you need to do is go behind and find these buttons at the right top. Just press these buttons and remove your Joy-Cons like this. Now remember, if your Joy-Cons are inserted like this and you do not press these buttons, you will not be able to remove them. And if you forcefully try to remove them, it might damage your Nintendo Switch. So always make sure to hold these buttons and remove your Joy-Cons. So I'm just going to remove them for the time being, and I'm going to move on to the part 3, which will be docking a Nintendo Switch with a TV. So if you have bought a Nintendo Switch, you'll also get this dock over here. These docks basically work in connecting your Nintendo Switch with TV. First of all, what you need to do is dock your Nintendo Switch with these area. So this is the area where Nintendo Switch gets docked. You need to align the Nintendo Switch in this under part, like here. So this part over here gets aligned with this. So once you have aligned them properly, like this, you'll find a satisfying sound, and that means your Nintendo Switch has been docked. Once your Switch has been docked, let's go behind. And this is the part where we get to connect. This area has a lid, so if you open the lid, you'll find this box over here, and this box has a few information to show to you. First of all, there is this slot of AC adapter where the AC adapter of your Nintendo Switch goes. So you have to use the official charger of your Nintendo Switch to plug it to somewhere and then connect the AC adapter over here. And then there's the HDMI slot. This is the place where you insert the HDMI. So just insert the HDMI over here, and once this is done, just bring out the cables like this in this overdoor part and close the lid. And that does it for your Nintendo Switch's part. So make sure to connect your Nintendo Switch's power adapter to a power source, and then connect this part to the TV of your Nintendo Switch. Basically the TV that you want to use as the display, or you can also use a monitor. And I have explained this process in more detail in another video, so I'm just not gonna go to that. So I have just shown you the basic part, and you can watch the more detailed part in that video, which will be given in the link in the description below. For now, let's move on to adjusting our Switch. So let's remove the Switch from the dock and remove the dock as well. And here comes the final part, which will be setting up our Nintendo Switch. So if you want to set up the Nintendo Switch, first of all, you need to press the power button and hold it for 3 seconds or so. And now the Nintendo Switch icon will show up and it will say that you need to connect your Joy-Cons. So let's just connect our Joy-Cons like the process I've shown before. So let's connect the Joy-Cons now. And once the Joy-Cons have been connected, your Nintendo Switch will load again and it will show you this display. And now you have to choose your preferred language. For me, I'll just choose English, but you can choose a lot of options over here. There's French, Dutch, Espanol, and so much, but I'll just choose English. And then you'll find this option of different language options, like there is the Americas English, there's the Europe English, there's the Australian English. So just choose the English you want and press the A button to select. And you can also use the touch panel to accept these options, like there's this user end agreement. If I just tap on the icon over here and hit next, I can also use the touch panel to finish the process. But since this is a console, let's just use the buttons. Now you might be prompted to enter your network connection, basically the Wi-Fi you're connected with. So I'm just going to connect with my Wi-Fi network and I'm going to enter my password. So enter your password and hit OK. So let your Nintendo Switch connect with the network and eventually it will be like this and it will finish the process. And with this, your Nintendo Switch is connected. For now, let's just choose a time zone for our Nintendo Switch and I'm going to choose it to Los Angeles, Vancouver, but you can choose it to anything else you like. And then it will prompt you to connect with your TV, but for now, we'll just skip this. And I'm going to show this to you in detail in another video. And now your Nintendo Switch will ask you to detach the consoles. I mean, these over here. So I'm just going to remove the Joy-Cons. And now your Switch will ask you to use them manually. Like you have to move them. Like it's saying that use the left stick to select next and then press A on the right corner. So the left stick is over here and I'm just going to use it to select next. And then I'm going to press this over here to select it. And there's also be another few manuals, but we're not going to read that for now. We're just going to hit OK and continue. Now you have to add a user for your Nintendo Switch. So we're just going to add this. And let's select create a new user since we are using it for the first time. And just choose our preferred user. I'll just find Link. Now I think I'm going to select Mario. I like Mario more. Now let's just select our username. With that, let's hit OK and continue. Now you might be prompted to link a Nintendo Switch account. So let's link our Nintendo Switch account. Now the process of creating a Nintendo Switch account is really big. So I will not be able to cover that in this video. So I'll cover that in another video. For now, I'll just connect with my existing Nintendo Switch account and finish the setup process easily. So I'll just tap on other sign-in methods. And I'm going to enter my email address and the password of my Nintendo Switch account. Once I'm done with all this, I'll get the sign-in options. I'm just going to hit sign in. Now Nintendo Switch will send a verification code to my email. So let's just enter the verification code that was sent to our email and hit verify. And we'll see this option called linking our Nintendo Switch account with our user. So we're just going to hit link over here and link our Nintendo Switch account with our user, and that will done the process. After this, just hit OK. And we're just going to skip this for now. Skip the parental controls as well and hit back. Skip again. And let's press the home button to finish the process. So let's press this button over here. And we're here on the main switch of our Nintendo Switch. So let's connect our Joy-Cons and we're ready to play. With this, your Nintendo Switch has been set up for the play and you can just choose the games and download everything you like all by yourself. So that's basically it. Hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to this channel for more useful tutorials. Thanks a lot for watching.